Hello, hello. We had some technical difficulties, but I think we're ready to go. Hello, Girly Action and Basquiat Official. Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to get my Jeanine on. Give me one sec. I see people trying to get on that are not. No, thank you. I think Jeanine should be on her way on now. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Thank y'all for coming on. There she is.
But why am I sideways?
Why are you sideways? Why are you upside down? Keep going.
Wow.
Mm-mm. It's all good. It's all good. Are you on your iPad?
Yes.
But flip it. Flip it. There you go. There you go.
Wait. Okay.
Hey there.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Jeanine and I are super excited. We had some technical difficulties, but we're getting on now. Jeanine, how are you doing?
I'm good. A little stressed for
I know.
not being able to get on here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not most technical with this, but it's all good.
It's all wonderful. It's all wonderful. Just deep breaths. Just deep breaths. We have a minute. People are still coming on, so why don't we just kind of take a deep breath and.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So thank you all for joining. I see you're all still coming on. We really appreciate it. I am Lisane Basquiat, and this is my sister.
Hi.
And so we have received so much, so many like beautiful comments and so much really positive feedback from people, and we really wanted a moment to come on and say hi and to chat with all of you and to share some of what's going on with this, with the exhibition in LA, and to take some questions. And we see all the questions coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. We see you, Urban Futurism and Art by Shaki Dorian, and Black Art Loves, and all, and some of you there. So I guess we are Jean-Michel's sisters. Jean-Michel was the oldest of three. My name is Lisane. I'm the middle sister. And
I'm Jeanine. I'm the baby, I guess you could say.
And a few years ago, we made the decision. I have a little bug that's been bugging me for a little bit now. A few years ago, we made the decision to create this exhibition. Because really in response to all of this incredible love and all the people who have been asking us for more information about Jean-Michel over the years. And we wanted to create something that would give those folks who follow Jean-Michel and who appreciate him and who are inspired by him to give a little bit more information about him.
Exactly. So I think we got some questions that were given to us ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So to address some of those.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, the first question is, can you tell us more about your parents, how they met, their lives, etc.? Were they artistic? So our dad came over here very young. He left Haiti under 20 years old. And he came to this country from Haiti, and he came to this country in the middle of the winter in January. He always said that he came without a coat on. it's funny because it seems like every Haitian comes in January without a coat on. But anyway,
And a
so
toothbrush in his pocket is really what he would say.
I know.
It's like I came to this country with no coat and a toothbrush in my pocket.
So he came here and he met my mom. Their mutual thing is that he spoke Spanish because he listened to Spanish radio in Haiti. And as a Puerto Rican woman, she spoke Spanish. And they met at a dance club. They both love to dance. And they met at what was the old Palladium, which was uptown. And as a result of that, they fell in love and they decided to get married and start a family together. And so they really, you know, tried to create the American dream by having the three of us and, you know, and all that happens with that. And had the three of us and, you know, we had a pretty nice home. Typical American family until unfortunately they decided to separate. Were they artistic? My dad, I think, kind of like doodled really, and he really liked to write kind of little poetry. My mom was artistic in the sense that she liked crocheting and knitting, and she was really kind of crafty. So yeah, so that's really the artistic part of both of them.
Yeah. So I'm going through some of the questions. How Zimzimax 3. How is it over there in LA? LA is amazing. So we closed in New York at the beginning of on January 1st, actually, and opened up in LA at the end of March. And it's amazing. And it's, you know, a lot of it is the same, but the configuration of the space, and we have like this beautiful outdoor courtyard. And so it's kind of the same works, but experienced in a very different way in LA. So it's really, really cool. Hi from Istanbul. Wow. Hey, thank you so much. Mark caught the New York City showing. We appreciate that so much. Greetings from Canada. Let's see what else we have here. Thank you, Maxwell. Loves what you, your sister, and family are doing for the legacy. Thank you so much. Thank all of you for how much you appreciate Jean-Michel and all of that. Landromo, Ian Dromo, saw the exhibition in LA today. So beautiful. Thank you. We're so glad you went. Let us know in the comments, kind of like what was your favorite part of the exhibition.
Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
I also see someone from the UK. Welcome.
Yeah. Let's see who else.
Oh, thank you. You could hear us speak for years. Oh, thank you so much.
Someone wished us both a belated Mother's Day. Thank you. We'll take that.
Hi from Maplewood. Hey,
yes. You got a song wrote called Basquiat's Girlfriend. People love it. Okay. People always focus on the girlfriend.
I think I saw someone ask if we're artists. Unfortunately, I'm not an artist. I am artistic in other ways and creative, but definitely not an artist.
Yeah. Let's see what the next question was, and then we'll come back to some of these. Can you tell us more about Jean-Michel's upbringing from birth to teen years? So actually, we had asked people to share some questions, and they did. And so those are the questions that we're actually responding to. Jean-Michel's upbringing, kind of like expanding a little bit more on what Jeanine was sharing, was we were brought up in Brooklyn, and we had the, you know, childhood that a lot of Brooklyn kids did, to be honest, right? Like, so we played outside a lot. We rode bikes. We played hopscotch, you know, freeze tag. What's the one where you hide and seek, you know, that kind of thing. At home, we played a lot of games together, you know, Monopoly and Trouble, and Jeanine and I would play jacks all the time. We played a lot of handball. Jean-Michel's upbringing from birth to teen years was really similar to the upbringing, to the experience in Brooklyn of a lot of kids of that time.
Mm-hmm.
What was different was that we were raised in a home by our dad, who was really very kind of like, it wasn't until we got out into the world, I think, that we realized how kind of unique our world really was. Like, we would have brunch on Sundays, right before brunch was really a thing. And we listened to a lot of music at home. Christmas was always phenomenal because our dad would, we'd wake up in the morning and we had already like found all our, gifts and things, but he would like wrap them in different paper so that we would know whose gift was what. Um, and yeah, if you have any specific questions about his upbringing, maybe put them in there and we'll see if we can catch those. We already answered the question about whether or not the LA exhibition is identical to the New York City exhibition,
Yeah.
I think.
Did he like, I'm catching here, did he like drawing as a child? I would say he was pretty creative early on, and he did quite a bit of doodling. He did these things where today I think you would call it stop motion, where he would have these little cartoon characters, and he would draw them at the bottom of a book. And as you flip the pages, it seemed as though the characters were kind of moving about. And he did that when he was really, really young. I'd say, 5, 6, 7 years old. But he was always drawing or doodling as a kid. The painting came much later, but a lot of sketching. And we have a lot of those sketchbooks at the exhibition.
Yeah. I see Prieto de la Ghetto said that she went to the exhibition for her birthday. Happy belated birthday. And your favorite gallery was the first one with all the home video footage. I really love that one too. That gallery, it's like, we recreated our childhood home, both the dining room and the kitchen and the living room. And it's actually most of the items that are in there, including the encyclopedia, the dining room table, and the china cabinet, and even that table, that white table in the middle of the living room, are all pieces from the actual pieces from our home. And so we always feel really, really good in that space. Like before the exhibition actually opened, we'd be kind of sitting on the couch and chilling and talking, and really kind of reminiscing about, our experiences as children. Jeanine, what are you most looking forward to this year at King Pleasure, LA?
Wow. I'm really, we really enjoyed the love that we got in New York City and all of the programming that we put together there. We're looking to do the same in LA and kind of bring out a lot of those, bring out a lot of community, do a lot of the program that we did in LA, as well as, trying to, put a try to get to those areas where he had, spent some time. He spent time in Venice Beach. He spent time at Spago, at L'Ermitage, at, different areas. He went to, the Chinese theater on Hollywood Boulevard. So, we're looking to capture little pieces of that and bring it into the experience, and hopefully maybe do some visits there. We'll see.
Yeah, someone asked if Papa and Mommy played a lot of music when we were kids, and they did. Like, we had music in the household all the time, and I think that's probably, that and food are like my two most vivid memories of being a child. It's just our dad would turn on music from the moment that he got home until and the first thing over the weekends, and so we really listened to a ton of music
All the time.
yeah, and it's also a big part of the exhibition, where we have different playlists that we actually curated ourselves, that are playing within each one of the gallery spaces. So you get to hear the music that that we listened to as children, the music that Jean-Michel appreciated, and we had it kind of broken down
Yeah.
into different parts of his life.
I see
Yeah.
someone asked whether we have a map in the LA at the LA space, the same as we did in New York. And the answer is yes. We actually, did some research as to, where he hung out and the places that he visited. So if you do come and see the exhibition, you'll see that map and get an idea of the areas where he hung out.
Yeah. Someone's asking, this is always the question, where's the exhibition going after LA? And that's probably one of our most popular questions. And we suggest that you subscribe to the newsletter so that you can find out what's going on, because that really is the best way for us to keep you up to date on what's happening. But for right now, do not wait for LA to be gone. So get yourself there now and make sure that you see it. And if I was a person, if I were a visitor, I would say it. And I know a lot of you, most people who have seen the exhibition come back and they give the feedback that, make sure you get yourself to see it. And so I'm going to just say it, shameless plug, but one that I know will be so well worth it. Get yourself down there to go see this exhibition. It is an incredible opportunity to really immerse yourself more in Jean-Michel. And, there's, great music playing and places to sit and really process. And I think going back to the question earlier, that's one of the things that I personally really appreciate about this space that's different from New York. We love the way it was set up in New York, and what's different here is that you have the opportunity to go into the galleries and then kind of sit and process what you experienced before going into the next gallery. And so, when we're there, we see people, sitting in the different seats and, people journaling and, kind of taking it all in, which is really a beautiful thing for us to be able to observe.
Okay. Let's see another question here. Who are some of your brother's favorite painters as influences? So I believe one of his favorites was Picasso.
Mm-hmm.
And he also loved Keith Haring. And, he was a fan of a lot of his contemporaries. And one of the things that I will say about Jean-Michel is that he loved to, uplift those that were around him. And he was one who was willing to support, whoever needed support. There is a painter that he had met and asked him to, the painter was in Paris at the time, and he asked that painter to come to New York in order to, increase his career. And that actually was the right thing to do for that painter. And so those were the type of things that Jean-Michel did. He was always willing to help out others. Very generous soul, spirit, with everything.
Jeanine, we have this really great question here. It says, this is Jeff from corporate. What is the mission or goal for you two in permeating your brother's art in the modern world?
It really is, this is a huge responsibility. And, we know that, that how huge Jean-Michel is and the impact that he has made to the world. And so Lisane and I take that very seriously. And we, try our best to do things that uplift him as well as inspire others. And so our mission is really to make sure that we are able to get his voice and his work out to the world in ways that have not been done before. We're also trying to humanize him so that you understand the man behind the work, and and get a better understanding of him. He was someone who he was funny. He was a jokester, but at the same time, he was one who really embraced cultures. He loved traveling, and he loved really just jumping into to um, any country or any culture that he was, getting into. And so we want to make sure that we are touching upon those different places and having his voice out as best as possible.
Yeah. And I think it's also really, Jean-Michel did an amazing thing where, as a man and as an artist who did something that had never been seen before, he did that with such confidence and really put his heart into the work that he was doing and into um, into really realizing his dream of becoming an amazing painter and a well-known and famous painter. And so that is um, really an inspiration, I think, to a lot of people, in different things that they're doing. We have had people who are chefs, who are filmmakers, who are in all different, walks of life, who have felt very inspired by Jean-Michel. And so we really wanted to share that with other people and to kind of, we had started talking about this back in 2017. And then in 2020, when the world was kind of going a little bit ballistic, Jeanine was like, hey, why don't we do this now, as kind of our response, to what was happening in the world, and also a way of contributing Jean-Michel's voice to some of what was going on at a time where people really needed some inspiration and really needed to be confident about the crown that we all wear. So that was, that's also part of it for us. How do you ship the massive pieces? Very carefully. Very carefully is the answer to that question.
Let's see. If your brother did not pursue a career in the arts, what do you think he would have ended up doing professionally? I got to be honest. I don't see Jean-Michel doing anything but,
That's right.
anything in the arts. He was just, that's just how his mind was. He was not your, professional student. He was not, one who kind of sat down in a classroom and, had, that traditional way of learning.
Mm-hmm.
He learned by doing and being, with himself. I really believe truly that the the painting was really a part of him.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really work. It was really something that kept him grounded, that kept him, spiritual, that kept him. It was almost like, the air that he needed to breathe, so to speak. So, the fact that with such a small window of his career, that he was able to produce so many works, I think shows that he probably was painting every day of his life,
Mm-hmm.
one or two pieces for sure. And so, if he was doing anything else, it was definitely be in the creative field, maybe film, producing, writing, something, in that regard.
Yeah. Someone asked the question, or someone made a comment about how great it was that Babas, what we refer to our father as. Our father passed away in 2013, which was when Jeanine and I began running the estate, Jean-Michel's estate. And this exhibition, we've been running his estate for 10 years. And at the time, we had been running it for, I don't know, 8. And we really wanted to find a way, like I said before, to really share more of Jean-Michel. And one of things that was really interesting about this process for us was that it really gave us the opportunity to take a deep dive into Jean-Michel's life, into the life of our parents, into our own childhood, also to process Jean-Michel's death and the death of each of our parents. I think that people are, Jean-Michel is this incredible being that people love, 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 love. And he was also our brother and, our parents' child and a cousin and an uncle and a nephew. And it has been a really beautiful experience to really process all of that. And we are very grateful for the fact that our parents really held on to it's almost like so, I don't even know how to explain it, but how incredible it is that we have, Jean-Michel's membership card to the Brooklyn Museum, and that we have all these old videos and papers and things that Jean-Michel drew, notebooks that he drew in and sketchbooks that he drew in when he was 17 years old. It's just really amazing that we have all of that to be able to share and package, for the world and those who choose to see the exhibition. Somebody asked in the comments a while ago how it felt to be around that old furniture. Some of that old furniture is still in the house. Yeah. Someone's asking about his first exhibition and how it felt to be in the room. I don't know that it was, I would say that I remember going to his early exhibitions and it felt really, the one that I remember most is Anina Nozay. And it felt really good. It felt like he had been doing this work and had been, really at it. He was very determined and focused on, being an artist and being a painter and, also having a voice and a narrative. And it felt really good to see him living what he wanted, living his dream, and realizing the vision that he had for himself. So it felt really good, really, really good.
Okay, this one we get often. Is running the estate a full-time job for each of you? It's a full-time job and then some. And, we also have other things that we do as well. Lisane has several businesses. I am involved in, quite a few other things on the side. But yeah, not only are, I can speak for myself, not only am I running the estate full-time with Lisane, but, running this exhibition is full-time as well. And it's something that we are very committed to, and have, worked tirelessly to make sure that it was something that we can be very proud of and that Jean-Michel would be proud of. And we feel that he would be, because we did it with love. We did it with, we did it making sure that we were being as authentic with him and his experiences and our experiences. So,
and really also did it with Jean-Michel in mind. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing about running his estate and, the decisions that we're making on a day-to-day basis is really thinking about, and it's not the easiest thing to do, to think about like, what would Jean-Michel do? Like, how would he think about this? And, it's not always easy to make those decisions on behalf of someone who's not here, who can't speak for, himself or the decisions, but him, Jean-Michel is at the heart of every decision that we make. And again, it's not always easy. Liz Brooklyn, how did your parents feel about him being a bit rebellious? Were they worried? Did they understand the need for him to see the world? That's a fantastic question. And it's a question that we get asked quite a bit. Our father was Haitian. You know, we're first generation. We have a Haitian father, a Puerto Rican mother, and the trajectory for success at that time was really, you know, going through a very traditional kind of path of, you know, going to college, getting a job, you know, and all of that. And so our dad specifically was afraid, to be honest. I mean, full disclosure, he was afraid. He was afraid that his son wouldn't be able to take care of himself. And he did a lot of, you know, he did a lot to ensure that his children were raised in a way that we were well equipped for the world, that we could take care of ourselves and each other, because that was also very important, that we three were close. And he did the best he could. And so imagine him doing that and having this kind of idea that, yeah, I've done this. And so now my son is going to, you know, put on a suit and become, you know, and do these things. And then he's like, you know, dreadlocks, and he's going to be a painter. There was no Jean-Michel Basquiat at the time for him to, you know, for him to point to say this was done before, and look, I'm going to do it. Jean-Michel was a pioneer, so he made that happen. So the truth is that our father was really afraid for him, and was not, did not embrace the decision right off the bat. It took time. And then as he saw his success and as he witnessed it and had conversations with Jean-Michel, which were difficult, challenging conversations, you know, he came to realize that, you know, what Jean-Michel said he was going to do, he actually did. But the funny thing is that not that much unlike our father. Like if you look in the exhibition in the 1960 gallery, there is a book that our father had, an address book that he had from, you know, when he was young, that said, I'm going to be, you know, an American businessman. And that's what he did. So it's not a dissimilar story to that story of a father and a son, you know, working through their relationship and figuring things out when the son isn't necessarily, you know, taking the same path that the father did. We wish that Jean-Michel could have lived longer so that they, you know, I think it would be, yeah, I met
a different conversation.
yeah, a different kind of conversation. Yeah.
I also, you know, I struggle when I hear that Jean-Michel was a rebel. I don't necessarily view him as a rebel. I feel like he chose the path that he wanted, and he walked through that door. And he was, you know, he did that by any means necessary. He knew that what he wanted to do was to be a painter, and he followed that dream. So, you know, I don't necessarily call that rebellious. I call that someone who is doing what they were put on this earth to do.
That's a good point, because actually, thank you. I'm glad you said that, because it wasn't that he was rebelling; he was choosing something. And so I think that was actually part of it, because I think that Papa felt like it was a rejection of what he was presenting to Jean-Michel as a possible path, but it actually wasn't that. It was that he was making a decision about what he wanted to do that was different from what Papa envisioned for him.
Yeah. I see Jessica, she said bravery, not rebellion. And that's exactly.
Yeah. Let's see, what else is in here? Credo de la ghetto. Why am I saying ghetto with a Spanish accent? Thank you. We really appreciate hearing that. We really do. It is a big job, and we appreciate your kind words. Someone wants to see the art on your back wall. No, no, no.
It would disrupt this.
No, you know what? Did you see when she came in upside down and sideways? Let's just keep things the way they are. What else? All right. So I think we are. Jeanine, what else do you want to say?
I think we answered. Is it going to travel? Oh, so this is one I'd like to answer. How did it work writing the catalog while also forming the exhibition? Huh. We got no sleep.
Okay, Margot.
Basically, basically we got no sleep. We were there's no aspect of this exhibition that we didn't have a hand on, from everything in the store, from selecting the merch in the store, from the note cards, from the little panels on the walls. We made a decision and had our hand in everything, to make sure that it was exactly how we wanted it to be.
That's right.
And, in the process of doing that, we also had to write a catalog, and, did that for the first time. And it was really cathartic to kind of, go back and remember a lot of the stories from our childhood, and the experiences that we had with Jean-Michel. And so it was wonderful to do, but it was challenging. It was challenging, but it was amazing.
So we have some giveaway winners to announce, but before we do that, Jeanine,
Yeah.
should we share a teeny little bit about the team and kind of a little bit about the process that we followed?
Sure. Go for it.
Right. So basically, we excuse me, this couldn't have been done without a team of incredible human beings that that all came together to realize this vision that Jeanine and I had for showing, for this exhibition. And all we knew was we wanted to put on this exhibition. That was it. And we encountered Eileen Gallagher of ISG Productions, who was the person who put on the Rolling Stones exhibition and the Clive Davis Museum and other things. And we got together to kind of talk about what it was that we had in mind, and she helped us to curate it and kind of to walked us through the process. And actually we started all this during 2020, so a lot of that happened on Zoom calls, hours and hours and hours of Zoom calls, and looking at works and going to the warehouse and taking care of things. We're supported by Girly Action, our PR team. They've helped us to get the coverage around this thing that we're doing. Sir David Ajay, the architect and designer who helped us to realize the vision physically in the space and design things. And my niece, Jeanine's and Heriveaux's daughter, Sophia Heriveaux, actually did the films that you see and the interviews that you see in the exhibition. Family members of ours got together to help. I know I'm missing people, but this was really
With the graphic
yeah,
and
pentagram. That's right, for the graphics. And then writing that catalog. It took us. We did it in 3 months, and Rizzoli helped us with that, and Isabel actually helped us to edit it and to pull it together, and Eileen helped us to kind of pull things together. So it was, I know I'm forgetting people, and I apologize for that, but it has been an incredible journey. Ramon is the general manager, who was the general manager for the exhibition in New York, and he came across the country to continue to work on the exhibition in Los Angeles. The team in LA is off the charts. We are constantly getting this feedback about how amazing the team in LA is, and yeah, so it's we're the ones who had the vision, and we executive produced it and all of that, but we stand with an incredible team of people who are supporting us and helping us to make this happen. All right, do we want to? Okay, so we're going to announce the winners in a moment. I guess you can do the catalog winner and I'll do the tickets winner,
Okay.
Jeanine. And just so you know that the social media team will send you a message to help you with how to actually claim your prize afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so without further ado,
Okay. So the winner of the catalog is Kimberly O'Neill.
woohoo!
Him online.
Okay, so
So make
Kimberly
sure,
O'Neill.
as Lisane said, you'll be getting something from our social media team.
Yeah.
So that's
And
the one.
enjoy that catalog. Jenny and I, we wrote it in like 3 months, and it is a great way to get insight into Jean-Michel's history and kind of the family and all of that, and all the roads that led to Jean-Michel. All right, the ticket winner, I believe you win 2 tickets,
Mm-hmm.
and that is for Athletes for Charity.
Nice.
So congratulations for that. I'm curious to know something about that organization. So congratulations for that. Oh, and before we forget, I almost forgot. Uh, let's talk about Go Off Sis.
Yes. So on May 24th, which is next Wednesday, we are going to be having a live podcast with Refinery 29. And the name of the podcast is called Go Off Sis. And we're going to be kind of just talking about our experience in running this estate and collaborating and getting this exhibition together. And we will be speaking with a young lady by the name of Chelsea, who will be, just kind of just talking with us with regards to our experiences as women in, in our respective industries. So that event will be live, and actually we are selling tickets for that. The ticket will allow you to come in, see the space beforehand, and then go to the last room in at the exhibition and watch that podcast live.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So please go to our website, which is Lisane. Can you get that for me? It's Basquiat.kingpleasure. No, kingpleasure.basquiat.
Basquiat.com. But if you type in King Pleasure, it'll pop up. Reminder, actually, Eileen just mentioned in the comments that the Go Off Sis podcast is going to be actually broadcast from the Palladium room. So we did a recreation. For those of you who know New York or who are from New York, the Palladium was a very famous nightclub back in the 80s. And so part of this exhibition includes the recreation of the Michael Todd room from the Palladium, where Jean-Michel actually painted these 2 beautiful paintings that hung there and that are in the Palladium. And so that's where we're going to broadcast the podcast from.
I want to shout out Coach Bueno that I just saw.
I saw it. I was going to say something before. A lot of people, Shonda shouting you out. Jess, my daughter is on here. Girly Action is in here dropping the, yes, it is in LA. Liz Brooklyn, it's in LA for sure. Yeah, so thank you all. Thank you all so much. There is a catalog online too. You'd love to see as much work as possible. Yeah, so actually we have, if you go to the website, we also have an e-commerce shop online. So visit the e-commerce shop, and if you're not in LA, it gives you the opportunity to get some products and some merchandise that we're selling as part of the exhibition. And you can also get the catalog that way and have it delivered to yourself or someone else that you want to share it with. Who else? Oh yeah, we have Rosie on here. Oh, Optimist is our marketing company, and Rose is back from vacation. Welcome back. Thank you all for all the beautiful love. We really appreciate it. Thank you for sincerely for your appreciation for Jean-Michel and all that he contributed to the world, for what he's contributed to the culture, what he's contributed to our way of thinking, and what he's contributed to really holding a mirror up to himself and to the world around, have us to really think about how we're living and to be more mindful and conscious about that. So, Jeanine, why don't you take us out?
Thank you for tuning in and being a part of this amazing experience. Hopefully we'll do more. And that's it. We're out.
All righty. Take care. Bye.